Previously, on Chosen Ones, Brandy and Arthur continue into the blank void that Arthur calls the Binding Matter, rows of bookshelves surfacing as they go that contain the stories of countless individuals. As they walk, Brandy hears a voice that only he can perceive, but has to leave before he can figure out what it is. The next timeline is surprisingly pleasant, Brandy meeting alternate versions of his friends that appear to be living happy lives. He learns that the Brandy of this timeline had proposed to Theo and tries to get advice, but to no avail. After casting Send into himself to let alternate Brandy know where his fiancée is, the tiefling meets back up with Arthur and goes through the bookmark at the height of the festival. In the void once more, Arthur appears to be bothered by their experiences together and tells Brandy he didn't see much point in making relationships like he did. Brandy says that relationships are what matter most, and that he'd do whatever it took to see those he loved again. He promises to help Arthur find his own happy ending if he can prove to him that he can be better. As they continue to walk, the sounds of a radio can be heard, and Arthur starts to be dragged into the black substance they'd been walking on. Brandy fails to pull him out, and instead falls in with him, landing in some kind of study where the magic man makes his dramatic entrance. The two hold their breath as they wait, uncertain of what this talk could entail.
Born from the same branch and leaves, wild and free, living here in harmony. Don't you see, this is where you want to be. When you leave, the world is never what it seems. If only we could travel back in time. Whoa.
So we just left off with Brandy and Arthur meeting the Magic Man, but before we continue with that, we are going to go back to Avayath and Shui and see what they are currently doing where we left them off. Avayath is currently 60 feet up in the air, 90 feet away from the Abberant, and Shui has dimension doored 200 feet away from the Abberant with Flynn.
Avayath, you're in trouble, my dude.
So Shui, you are in this scene, Brandy.
Oh, I am? Cool.
You summoned them.
I know I did. I can't do anything about it now. He's there. He's only here for another 30 seconds.
I forgot when I told you you weren't going to be in the beginning. You actually are. It's just other Brandy. So.
Yeah, it's other bad boy Brandy.
Because it's actually your turn, bad boy Brandy.
Oh, fuck.
Because Shui just went. It is. It's your turn.
Okay.
The Avagram is currently still in front of you.
Brandy will look in the direction of, or Wolf, should say, will look in the direction of where they all went and looked to the Abergrim and just be like,
I think we're good now. I don't think we need to go after him.
You may not have to, but I have business with the Asmer.
Oh, is that pressing then?
He was raised by the false king as a weapon against me. He can't be left alive.
Do what you gotta do.
Wolf will move with Theo to head in the other direction.
Okay.
Sorry, there's no reason he would not let you die, Avayath.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He tried as hard as he would want to try, and he's like, well...
Not gonna fight him to stop him, not worth it.
Like, literally, he's like, that's my dad, and you were made to kill him. Sorry, fuck you. I don't care.
Shui, you are currently holding on to Flynn. You just dimension doored away, and this man is looking pretty bad.
Yeah.
You see Flynn is holding his arm, And when I say holding his arm, he is holding his arm with his other arm.
Yeah.
It is not attached.
Yeah.
But he's holding it up to the stump, and you can see he is, like, gritting his teeth. And to you, he's just like, we need to get closer to Avayath. I have another orb, but we need to be within range. He needs to be next to us.
Shui turns around and kind of looks back kind of where he came from. And he turns back to Flynn. And we're still in turn order, right?
Yeah, so it's not your turn, but you can talk to him.
Okay, because I was going to try to heal him, but I never mind.
Yeah, but you see as he's gritting his teeth, he appears to be casting some kind of spell, and you see the arm that he is holding up to that stump slowly starts to knit itself back into place
Okay.
as he casts Regenerate.
Oh, look at him go. So, Shui was just like, I don't know what to do.
You have to get us to him.
Oh, okay. I'll bring him to us, to you. Okay. If I leave you here, will you be okay?
I'll be fine. Just go. Just get him.
He, kind of bites his lip a little bit, and he nods his head, and he's gonna get up, and he's going to kind of turn around and get ready to, he's gonna dimension door back over to Avayath. Whenever it is. That's whenever
On
it's
your
his turn.
turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you do see what he cast does seem to have healed him back a little bit. He's still bloody, but he does look better. Like the burns on his face have kind of healed a little bit. Most of the healing has gone to his arm, obviously. So that will be the end of his turn. And we are on to the Avagrim now, who is, you can see Avayath from your distance. The Avagrim start to run 30 feet in the direction of where he sees Shui. He stops. He looks up towards where you are in the sky, and then he leans over as two of his tails seem to morph into ghostly purple wings before he pushes himself rapidly 60 feet up into the air, dashing and ending his turn.
So he's dashing towards Shui.
He went 30 feet towards Shui, and then noticed you flying and decided to fly instead and went 60 feet up.
Yup, it's flying at you, my guy.
And you now know he has a flying speed of 60 feet, and you are 60 feet away from him. And that is the end of his turn.
If he dashes 120 feet, my guy, you're done.
Can Avayath see where Shui is?
He is behind you. He dimension doored. So you would have to make some kind of... What's your passive perception?
15.
That's enough. So you noticed. It took you a sec to kind of locate him. But from Flynn's crying, you can definitely find him. So...
Okay.
But it's not your turn yet.
Oh.
Technically, it is Theo's, if Theo is doing anything.
He's crying and running away with Wolf, just lamenting the fact that people insist on trying to find and take them out. So
Okay.
that's all he's doing. He dashes with Wolf.
Yeah, I'll say that he just says to Theo's crying, like, it's gonna be okay, they'll learn eventually.
I don't want them to have to learn this way.
I know.
And that's Theo's turn.
All right, Avayath, you are up.
Avayath will try to fly away and take the dodge action. He sort of holds up a shield defensively, sort of in front of Flynn, just sort of gesturing that he's shielding Flynn and Shui.
Okay, you're still pretty far away from them, though.
Yeah, but that's just in his nature.
Shui, it is your turn.
Shui's gonna dimension door to Avayath, like literally to Avayath. I know Avayath is in the air, so I was gonna have him kind of like. Well, before I do that, if Avayath were to carry like Shui or something, would he still be able to fly? He would be able to fly, right?
Avayath can carry like 200 pounds.
Does Shui weigh 200 pounds?
Cassie.
You're muscle.
No, he does not weigh 200 pounds. He weighs
You're
less
a
than
muscly boy. It's all condensed.
He's lean.
Okay.
Okay, so I was just wondering. So yeah, Shui's gonna dimension door to Avayath. He's going to, it says you can arrive exactly at the spot desired. He is going to do it kind of like just above Avayath so that he's able to like land on his back, kind of. You know, grab onto him.
Mm-hmm.
And when he gets there, he's like, yeah, we have to go.
Right. Trying to go as fast as I can.
Just landing on top of him.
I would love to imagine that Shui just appears on top of him. He's like, yeah, and he's like, ah! Like,
He did it like above him so that he could kind of like have a warning instead of like right on his damn back.
that's fair. Just like to imagine.
That would be super funny.
The second something hits him.
If you want, because you haven't used your movement yet, have you?
Yeah, no, I haven't used it.
And it's kind of hard for you to be able to use it from where you are. If you want, since you jumped on top of Avayath, I can say that you made him lower 15 feet, like you dragged him down when you jumped on him, so he's closer towards the ground. He doesn't have to waste movement doing that.
Sure, yeah. Is his turn before Avagram's?
Nope.
You and Avayath have both gone already.
Flynn's is, and that's it.
Well, then it doesn't matter. Because Shui's going to Dimension Door again anyway.
On his next turn, yeah.
Yeah, on his next turn. That's why it doesn't matter if Avayath is on the ground or not. So, yeah, Shui is just like, I'll try to keep you safe.
Avayath just nods.
Let's hope you guys survive around.
Yeah, let's hope we survive around.
Let me look at something real fast.
Okay, Cassie, if his power were to kill, delete it.
Delete it.
If it's banishment, delete it.
I'm trying to figure out if you are within 60 feet of Flynn right now. Avayath is 120 feet, so there would be like 80 feet. So yeah, too far. Even with another 15 feet down, that's still too far. Okay.
That's his range for the orb, 60 feet?
No. He was going to try and do some healing, but he sure can't because you're too far away. He heals himself.
Yeah, cool move, dude. You could like prepare an action to heal somebody when they get in range, you fucking asshole. But that's fair. He did get his arm ripped off and face melted.
He's
So.
pretty bad, but he casts the spell heal on himself, which instantly gives him 70 HP, and he's almost back to full now. From a distance, you see him just glowing, like you're like, oh, yeah.
He's singing to himself.
Comfort song.
I'm not gonna die today.
But yeah, he's almost back up to full, and it is now the Avagrim's turn.
Yes, it is.
Goodbye, Al.
He was 60 feet away from you. You moved 30 feet away. So he's 90 feet away. So he flies, he whooshes forward 60 feet towards you. Still is not within range. I'm gonna see if he has anything that can reach you from 30 feet away. Oh yeah, oh shit.
Oh yeah, oh shit.
Oh, that's a bad sound. Oh no. What does oh yeah, oh shit mean?
I forgot he can cast spells.
That's what I'm saying, but
no.
like if his power word kill, delete it.
No,
Yeah,
that's
just
not
delete power
what he
kill,
can.
though.
That's not what he can cast.
It's gonna be like really bad.
What are you both at right now,
do you
HP
mean?
wise? Just wondering.
Avayath is at 66.
Shui is at 69.
Nice.
Okay, so you guys, it might be fine.
It might be fine.
Can you both make
Mm-hmm.
a dex save for me?
Okay.
Shui gets a +5 to his saves. And Avayath gets advantage because he took the dodge action. Avayath got 25.
18 plus 5 plus 9. 32.
Fucking
Holy
yeah, you
moly.
have.
Jesus fucking
God
Christ.
damn.
32? Should we just deflect it? He's just like
You are still going to take half as he casts Fireball at both of you.
Yeah, that's fair.
So half of 29.
Shui's gonna use his spark.
Avayath, being the guy that he is, will shield it for Shui and take the full 29 instead.
Oh. Shui's gonna use his spark too. So that's fun.
But
I really
Avayath
like that.
doesn't know that.
Avayath doesn't know that, so he can still do that and stuff.
Yeah, and I will say because of your ridiculous ass dex score that you are able to get that off even as Avayath tries to shield you because you got higher than his.
Oh, okay.
So you got your reaction off instead of him.
Oh, I
That's
see
how
what
I
you
will
mean. I see what
determine
you mean. I see
that,
what you
yeah.
mean. I see what you mean. She's gonna use it on Avayath, because, yeah, that's just how he is. So Avayath takes half of 29.
Well, Avayath already took half of 29, so he'd take half of
Oh,
half.
he already took the damage.
Because you both still took damage, so it'd be half of 29, which is what?
Oh, I see
15
what you
rounded
mean.
up?
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
so he would take 7 now.
7, and then he will regain 2d8 plus my spellcasting modifier, which is...
So it says, unfortunately, under Avayath's Divine Allegiance, that when I take the damage can't be reduced or prevented in any way.
You let them talk all that, and then you're like,
talk all this. Just to say, unfortunately.
Unfortunately for you.
Because I was like, in the back of my mind, I was like, I really want the damage to be reduced, but the rule says right
Oh
there.
my god, this fucking, this is just making me think of objection with like the ace attorney. What the fuck?
Objection! I'm gonna get hit really hard. I choose to get hit really hard.
He'll still get the temporary hit points, I guess. But he just won't get that reduced.
Yeah,
damage.
he'll still take the whole damage, I guess, yeah.
That was really funny.
Yeah, it was really
You're
funny.
gonna take no damage. You're gonna
God.
take practically no damage, and I was like, actually, I'm gonna take all the damage. Thanks very much. Thank you for that, Jay.
Yeah, and you hear from a distance, Shui, echoing in your head.
Stop interfering, Ibishu.
Shui kind of grabs his head, and he's shaking it, and he's like, "Who is Ibishu?"
You just hear a very, deep growl in the back of your head.
And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
That is the end of Avagrim's turn. It is now... Theo, you do it? You want to do some chatting, or...?
I'm running. I'm running.
Yeah, I think the two of them are just fucking bolting at this point, trying to get the fuck out of there.
I will skip you two then, assuming for the future if we ever get back to you.
We outie. We already,
Yeah, we're just gone.
We dashed.
In the distance, you see them peace signing in the...
We're like, later, have fun with my dad.
We gotta be at least 120 feet away from where we were.
Yeah,
so.
you're definitely far away at this point, unless you have a sudden change of heart and you're like,
Let's go save him.
Avayath, it is your turn.
Okay, Avayath will continue to run away towards Flynn, and he will use his action to do lay on hands on himself. So he will just heal the full 60.
Okay, if you are dashing with Shui on your back, you will only go 30 feet.
I'm not dashing because lay on
Then
hands.
you will go 15 feet.
Yeah, 15 feet. That's
Do you want to fly that 15 feet, or do you want to go to the ground?
So, hold on. Does Avayath's fly, the actual spell fly?
No, he just can fly. He just has the ability to fly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's how his spark evolved, is his wings work.
That's interesting.
Because otherwise, dispel magic or whatever would cancel his flight animation.
Oh, could you imagine if the Abergrim dispelled his magic and he just plummeted like a fucking meteor? God.
He just flies 30 feet towards. I don't think he was told to go to the ground. He has no reason to. And he's not going to reach him anyways. For 15 feet, not even 30.
Shui, it is your turn.
He's gonna use Dimension Door again to get closer to Flynn.
Gotcha. You dimension Dora to Flynn.
As his turn came up, he was still kind of gripping his head, kind of shaking it, because that was weird, and he doesn't understand any of it. And people are getting hurt, and Theo and Brandy are bad boy runaways, and so he's just gonna kind of shake his head, pat Avayath's shoulder, and cast Dimension Door, and then poof away.
And Flynn looks a lot better. Flynn's sitting up, standing. He definitely has some burns from the acid and stuff that seem like they're going to take a little bit more than some quick magic healing to recover from. But he is stabilized for sure, almost back to full. And when you appear next to him, he is holding in his hand this kind of bright blue orb with swirling, it almost looks like a blizzard inside of it, that he picks up, and as soon as you get close to him, he throws it to the ground and smashes it, and all three of you teleport away as you hear the Avagrim just screaming behind you, trying to run after you.
That's horrifying.
He's not close enough to make it to the range for the orb in time, so.
That's horrifying.
And you are teleported away.
I really thought y'all were goners. I really did.
I thought that Abergrim was gonna fuck the shit out of you. I was like, there's
it
no
was
way.
nice playing with you.
Yeah.
as
Watching him,
people.
what he did to fucking Flynn, I was like, Flynn was at full HP and got his shit rocked.
Well,
y'all
he was
are
also in
done.
the poison aura.
That's fair.
He was also in melee range. Flynn made some mistakes.
Yeah.
Flynn did make some mistakes. But you also see how much he can heal himself, so he's like, oh, I'll be fine.
Yeah. I'll be fine. I'll just get my arm ripped off and face melted.
I really like that they almost took a fireball point blank, but it
Yep,
didn't take that
and
much
they're
damage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we took
That was
nothing.
really good.
It was.
All right, so upon teleporting, Avayath, Shui, and Flynn immediately appear in the Great Hall of an extravagant building, large staircases decorated with intricate designs that lead upwards towards a small gathering of figures, clearly decorated as royals. One of them, a high elf with golden hair and silver eyes, looks down at the three of you with concern on his face. And you immediately recognize him from his statue in the Hall of Fame as King Larkspur. And as you all teleport, you hear Flynn very quietly whisper to the two of you, "Do not tell him we failed."
So what are we going to do then? He's going to find out sooner or later.
That is all the time that you have before you see Larkspur, King Larkspur, quickly start to make his way down the steps and go towards you, and just immediately goes up to you, Avayath, and puts his arms around you, and he's just like, "Oh, you scared me. I thought you weren't coming back."
Of course I'd be coming back.
"Oh, you shouldn't scare your father like that."
Oh,
I just screamed. I'm sorry. In the recording, I screamed.
I feel like Avayath is going to be too dumb or in denial and just be like, aware. And he looks around for his dad.
Oops.
He cocks his head at you and seems more concerned now, and he's just like, "We'll get you checked out by a medic immediately. I assume if you're all back, though, that you completed your mission, right? You defeated the poison apple." And he looks towards Shui, and he's just like, "Ibishu, you did, right?"
Who is Ibishu?
And he looks to Flynn again, very confused. It's just like, are they all right? And Flynn's just like, "They've been acting a bit strange, ever since we teleported out. Maybe the Abergrim did something to their minds. We'll get it looked over. You know, he's a tricky fiend, and we did have to face him because of the monster we were set out after." And Larkspur nods, and he's like, "I knew there was a chance that he would be summoned against you. I'm sorry you had to face him again, son." He looks to Avayath.
Well, I can assure you that those two, our target is no longer going to endanger anyone.
Wonderful. Rue is waiting for you upstairs.
Rue!
She's been worried sick.
Right, Rue.
I think she just put the baby down, so you should go see her.
You can't do this to me. You're gonna hear like these reactions in the fucking recording. Stop. God. I was literally typing to say looking to bone down, but apparently you already did. Jesus. Oh my god.
Right, I'll go visit Rue in a sec, but I just need a moment alone if you don't mind.
Okay, don't keep her waiting too long.
I won't.
And he looks towards Shui and is just like, the temple is ready for you if you wanted to go there.
Looks at Avayath.
We'll get you healed up, whatever. I know you have amnesia spells every now and again, so we'll figure it out.
Yo, what's going on?
We just have amnesia. Clearly.
Wink.
She turns back towards Flynn, and he's like, who am I?
He is kind of just like staring at you, just like, what are you doing?
Everyone keeps calling me Ibishu. Even the Abergrim
Because
called me
that's
Ibishu.
your name.
That's not my name.
Just looks at you. We will take him to the temple, correct, brother? And nods to Larkspur and grabs your arm. And to Larkspur is just like, you should settle down. You clearly were distressed by everything that just happened, and I will make sure that we get their memories restored as soon as possible. And Larkspur kind of nods to him and is just like, yes, well, I will go tell Rue that Avayath has returned. And he looks to the both of you, still seeming very concerned, before making his way back up the steps towards that other group of royals that you see. Why don't you both roll a perception check for me?
21, wow.
I rolled a 19 plus 5, 24.
Damn. Okay, yeah. So you both see as he goes up the steps and goes towards that group of royals, he grabs the arm of someone almost in a romantic gesture that looks a lot like Estel. as he goes back into the back of the castle.
You see, Ripley, I heard you scream. I know you did.
I definitely made a noise. That's not
I
Estel.
also made a noise. I was
I
like,
know.
I literally the exact same noise shit. I was like, Jesus Christ. Stop doing this to me, Cassie.
And they continue. So Flynn is like grabbing onto your arm, Shui, and is like, we need to get you to the temple.
Hold on. Do you mind if I have a second to talk with Ibishu for a second?
He's just looking between the two of you, and he's like, I don't know what you're doing, but something is clearly wrong with the both of you, so you need to be checked out by clerics immediately.
Yes, I agree, but if I could just speak with him for a bit.
You have 2 minutes. Ibishu, I'll be coming in a moment. And he walks off.
Thank you. As soon as he walks off, Avayath breathes a sigh of relief, like, oh, finally. I can explain things to Shui. He's like, Shui, so, you know how there were 2 Arthurs earlier? Do you remember that?
Uh-huh. I think so.
And one of them said wrong Arthur. There was more than one of them. I think what's happening is we're in a different timeline. Are you processing this? You're awfully quiet.
Shui is processing.
Well, Zairi said that if he talks about other timelines, that things would go horribly wrong, so we can't talk about anything from where we came from. We have to keep quiet about it. Just pretend your name is Ibishu while you're here. And pretend that all of this is normal for now.
Yeah. How do we get back?
I don't know. I was thinking... I mean, both Arthurs seem to know about time travel, so maybe if we could find another Arthur, maybe he could help us.
Another Master Arthur?
Yes, the one that belongs here. Maybe, but he might also be evil, so we should tread carefully.
She's just like, okay, I'll try.
Right, remember, your name's Ibishu now, for some reason.
Okay.
I mean, you recognize that name, Avayath.
Oh.
That was the god that you heard about that was supposedly killed.
He wouldn't know why that's Shui's name now, though, would he?
No.
Yeah, okay, so he'd still say that.
What are you gonna do, Yaya? I have to go to, a temple or something.
Well, if I can come along with you, then I will, but I guess I should visit Rue first.
I think he was, like, having a crisis, like a mini crisis, so I don't think he heard what the king said about, Rue, and... Did I hear something about a child? Is that what I heard?
Larkspur said she was putting the baby down to bed.
Okay, sorry. What baby was the king talking about?
I'm not sure. Rue is a good friend of mine. But I don't know who she'd make a baby with.
Make a baby? Okay, she's just like...
Who she'd forge a baby with.
You didn't hear it, but I literally, I deflated. I had to gasp.
I was like, realistically, Avayath would piece together that it's his baby, but it's funny if he's still like, she's a friend.
Yeah, my friend. God.
Okay, Mr. Flynn is looking over here. I should go now.
Yeah, let's just try to blend in for now. And Avayath will go upstairs to visit Rue.
So Avayath, you go upstairs, and you seem to be kind of lost at first, looking at all of these hallways. You see staff moving around the castle into different rooms and all that. And as you're looking around this place, there is a weird kind of like familiarity to it, you think, as you're looking around. Can you roll a wisdom save for me?
24.
That fleeting thought that you had for a moment where you're like, this seems familiar to you, quickly vanishes as you're looking around. And you don't think you've ever been here before, actually. And you start moving forward, the staff rushing around. You're not sure where you're supposed to go.
He's just gonna try the closest door and knock.
You hear kind of like a little occupied.
Oh, sorry. Wrong door. He just tries. He'll try one more door and then ask someone.
Okay. Roll a d6 for me.
4.
Okay, you open this room, and it is a very big, extravagant-looking bedroom that you walk into. And as you walk in, you see the king currently sitting down on his bed, holding the hands of that person that you saw that looked like Estel from before. And she's, like, talking to him, and she's just like, they seem to have forgotten everything. I don't know exactly what happened either. And they both look over when you come in and raise an eyebrow. Larkspur kind of puts up a hand and is like, Aelia, it's fine. You can leave me with him if you want. And she smiles and is like, oh, of course. And she starts to walk past you and is just like, good to see you, Avayath. Glad you made it out of your mission. And kind of pats you on the back as she leaves.
Good to see you as well. But you see, as soon as the name Aelia was mentioned, the glowing in his eyes sort of just flared up.
She does not look any different from Estel at all. Looks to be exactly the same as her. There's no scars that Estel had mentioned once that she had. Everything about her looks fine.
The fucking gasp that I just let out, you fucking bitch.
Yeah. But Avayath won't attack her this time, or threaten to do so. I'm sorry for interrupting. I seem to have... My memory loss caused me to forget which room Rue is staying in.
Oh, well, I can help you, of course. And he stands up, still smiling very warmly, and starts to exit the room with you. And he's just like, what was the last thing that you remember before you had that horrible encounter with those monsters?
I don't really remember anything before then.
You remember your name is Avayath, though, and you recognized me, of course. You acted like you did.
I suppose I remember certain people, just not events.
Some sort of modified memory spell, probably. Although I don't recall the Abberant having that sort of magic specifically.
Perhaps. My theory was that I just hit my head.
Flynn does have a tendency to not be perfect with that orb.
We teleported in the air and we were tumbling down. And we were hitting rocks, so...
Oh, did you say hi to Claytor while you were there?
I did not. We were quite busy.
Ah, well, he'll still be there. You can go visit later.
He squints suspiciously, doesn't really believe it, and he's like, right, I sure will.
And he leads you a few doors down to kind of like this very prettily painted, with like child's drawings almost, like flowers and animals and things. It very clearly seems to be a nursery that he leads you into. And you see Rue as you enter the room, currently leaning over a crib, and she's just like, shh, it's okay, Daddy's gonna be here any minute now. And she looks up when you enter the room and smiles brightly, and you see the flames on her hair kind of glow with her smile, and she's like, Avayath, you're back!
I am back. Of course I'd come back.
She rushes up to you and she hugs you, and as she comes up to you like and starts to wrap her arms around you, you see the glint of a wedding ring around one of her fingers as she does so.
There's Avayath pieces together yet. He's just not going to comment on that. And he's like, it's good to see you again. I hope I didn't worry you too much.
No, of course not. And Larkspur's looking between the two of you and is like, I'll leave you be. He has some memory loss, Rue, just to warn you. We haven't had a chance to have him checked out yet by a cleric. And she's just like, oh. She looks up to you and frowns as he starts to leave the room.
I'm sorry that I have to ask this, but as he said, I'm suffering from some memory loss. Are you married to... who? I'm sorry.
You see her smile fall even more at that as she reaches into her back pocket. She's dressed like royalty, by the way. She looks almost the same as the others that you saw out there, standing up on the balcony. And she pulls out a ring from her back pocket, and she's like, you asked me to hold on to this so you didn't lose it during your mission?
Oh. Well, you know, I'm happy that it's you. I don't remember everything,
You
but
don't remember. How?
I do remember how I feel about you. And I'm glad that you're the one that I chose to spend my life with.
She's still faltering. Like, you see this has very clearly hurt her. And she kind of reaches out for your hand and gently puts the ring inside of it and, like, closes your palm around it. And it's just like, well, we are married for 5 years now, so that's unfortunate. She grimaces.
Don't worry, Rue. As soon as I visit the church, I'm sure I'll get my memories back.
Of course. The mission was so pressing. You haven't had the chance to meet him yet. And she gestures towards the crib.
Oh. Literally, am I just, like, sweating and panicking in the armor?
You said you wanted to name him, that you had a name in mind before you left.
Oh my god!
Right, name.
Don't fuck this kid's whole life up, Avayath, please! Oh no!
I'm sorry, but that seems to be one of the things I've forgotten.
Well, we can toss some around a bit. Again, you seemed like you had one that you were really set on, and you were going to surprise me with it, so I don't have any backups.
Oh, well, I'll remember in a second. So don't worry about
Roll
it.
a wisdom save for me, Avayath.
Oh boy. 23.
You're still good. So, again, just kind of this fleeting moment where it's like a name is on the tip of your tongue as you're looking over towards that crib, but you just can't remember it. It doesn't come to you.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I got to see the baby. I think I'll go to the church,
You still haven't seen the baby!
Oh. He goes over to see the baby then.
Okay, yeah. You go over and look inside the crib, and they appear to be an Asmer like you, a child with, currently they have some kind of covering over their eyes to kind of protect them, but you can see a soft glow coming out from underneath, and little wings on their back.
I guess he's sort of endeared to this. He will... I don't know what he would do.
Did you want to hold him?
Yes, I would love to.
She kind of reaches into the crib and very carefully scoops him out, and it's just like, he just went to sleep, so be careful.
I'll be gentle.
She passes the baby to you.
Our very own baby. Would you look at that?
Roll another wisdom save, Avayath.
Oh, mamma mia, Cassie. 15 this time. He rolled real bad.
As you are looking at this baby, and you are kind of looking down into its face, the covered eyes that you can't see, you kind of gently lean forward and start to pull up the blinds that have been placed over its eyes, the blindfold. And as you do so, a name starts to come to your mind. We're gonna go over to Shui now.
Cassie, what the fuck?
We go over to Shui, who is currently walking with Flynn. Outside of the castle, you can see towards a very large temple, which it's kind of like Greek inspired. It looks like a old, almost, not like it's old in like terms of construction, but just in style. It's definitely like inspired by like Greek architecture. Even though you don't know what that is, but yeah.
Nope.
You're approaching this temple, and on top of it, you can see this almost like sticking up out top of it. It looks like a carved lightning bolt has been carved into the structure of it, so it's almost going through the temple. And as you walk through the front gates, that lightning bolt goes inside and leads towards an altar that is like filled up with water, with a small bowl of water on top that's kind of like overflowing and going out into a tiny platform in the middle that kind of like spreads out. So this water is like going through this very intricate kind of like canal system throughout the whole temple.
Mm-hmm. Very pretty.
And Flynn looks to you and is just like, well, we will start with the temple at the very least to see what is the matter with you.
Shui's kind of looking around in awe, you know, like he's never been here before. Because he's never been here before. Where are we?
We are at your temple.
My temple? Oh, Ibishi's temple.
Correct. Your temple.
But aren't temples usually for gods or something?
Come up to the altar. He's like walking towards the altar.
He goes.
And he stands in front of it, kind of folding his arms, and he gestures with his chin towards that bowl of water sitting on top of the altar. And he's like, look inside.
I'm not thirsty.
Look inside the altar.
He's gonna go look inside the altar.
When you lean over, you see staring back in your reflection the same thing that you had seen when the strange creature, the blue creature with the plague mask, which you still don't know the name of, had showed you on the TV screen. Kind of a version of you with like palish blue skin and horns sticking out of their head and very bright glowing eyes. And you see them scowl at you when you stare in, and that growl in the back of your head kind of comes back. Roll a wisdom save, Shui.
16.
As you are kind of staring into that water, that growl in your head starts to get louder and louder and louder, and you feel almost as if you are drowned in it as you stare forward into this altar. And the world goes black for you.
Okay. Good night.
But you do hear, kind of very far off in the distance, I see you've come to your senses. Let's go back.
Thank you to our high-tier patrons, Dion Miranda, Zab, Arkeus a Druid, Mad King Max, Chinchilla, The Hat Man, Charles, Jessica Long, Z, Vessel, and Mr. Bakudan, as well as our Kickstarter backers for this season. If you haven't already, make sure to like the episode and leave a comment. We'll see you soon, fellow Sparks.
Morning soon, the light dims fast here. Should we go outside again one more day, my dear? Why don't we just stay as the familiar fades away? Things are the same day by day. What are you waiting for, darling? What are you running from, stranger? Where are you hiding now? Don't you waste this chance. Do we have time for this, dear friend? How could we ever run out now? All that we have is this moment. Let's make time. For the end of this story, time for the start of our new life, time for us all to come back for fate's last encore, where we find out what this all means. It means a lot that you're here now. Let's make the most of this, shall we?